Hello, all my GMAT aspirants. Welcome back to my Physics Wala. This is Amit Rora, your VRC expert right here. All right. So, as you're aware, our GMAT foundation batch is going on with full force, and we have started learning the very basics about GMAT critical reasoning. By now, you've also kind of realized and discovered that GMAT ka critical reasoning is not about vocabulary. It is not so much about, heavy or English terms. It is about logical thinking, and it is about arriving at the right answer. So continuing that journey forward, today we are looking at a very, very important two parts of critical reasoning, that is strengthening and weakening of the arguments. All right. So let's quickly see what did we do last time. Last time, if you remember, we had revised on critical reasoning concepts. We had discussed and revised on the different types and formats of questions. And of course, we had done lots and lots of practice questions. Today, when we talk of strengthen and weakening, 100% we will look at the concept as to what exactly strengthening and weakening does. We will look at the different types of questions. We will explain to you how exactly to go about them. Not only that, we will give you 100% acing strategies and definitely lots and lots of practice questions. So make sure you stay tuned till the end. Sit with a pen and a paper, ठीक है, जहाँ पे आप notes बनाओ, write down important things so that you are alert and active throughout the session. Let me quickly introduce myself for anybody who's joining me for the first time. My name is Amit Rohora. I am your verbal ability and reading comprehension expert right here. I have so much years of experience in teaching, training, coaching, mentoring for all these exams wherever verbal ability, reading comprehension section comes. I have also helped a lot of kids achieve their dream of reaching the top B schools both India and abroad. Not only that, I'm also a visiting faculty and a professor of in human resources. And finally, my favorite part is this: I like to call myself a rockstar creator. You guys are Amit sir ke pyare rock stars. Chaliye, let's get started. Now, so far we have studied, we have learned critical reasoning basics. We have learned about the different format of questions. Usme more important is strengthen and weaken. Very, very simple at its base. Let's read. Strengthen and weaken basically involve assessing. Okay, so assessing means evaluating, all right, or you are checking argument ka logical structure. Obviously, when you say logical structure, okay, let's look at an argument first. We've discussed this before. I'll revise. Every argument has a premise, remember people, leading to a conclusion. Remember, we have done this lots and lots of times before. Premise means anything which is the factual part, stated part, okay, the data part, which leads to a conclusive evidence or a conclusion that the author concludes. Now, in strengthen and weaken, you have to evaluate the strength of the conclusion with respect to the premise. So you have to decide whether the conclusion is strong enough, whether some additional evidence will further strengthen it or it will weaken it. बहुत simple है. Yeah. So strengthen questions when you're looking for an answer choice that adds support. This is very interesting. When you say add support means something that enhances, something that broadens, and something that strengthens the argument, making it more likely to be true. So two things it does. Number one, it 100% adds support. Add support matlab it does all of this. And it makes it more likely to be true, more likely to be believable. That means whatever the author is concluding will become very much nicer, and you'll be like, yeah, this to makes more sense because of this answer choice. ठीक है, थोड़ा समझ में आ रहा है, आराम से करेंगे, let's not rush. So that is about strengthen. Weaken is ulta. ठीक है, weaken में the goal is to find that option that undermines. Undermines means what? Undermines means contradicts. Okay? Undermines means something that goes against. Okay? Or undermines means something that weakens the argument's validity, making it less likely to be true. So once again, I'll repeat. Strengthen me, what are we looking for? We are looking for that answer choice that supports it and makes it more likely to be true. What? The conclusion or the argument. Weaken may we find an answer choice that undermines it, attacks it, contradicts it, makes it weak, and finally makes it less likely to be true. So why is Amit sir stressing on all these things? It's because when you are sitting down and making notes, I would like you to please write this down. So simple itna likho, strengthen, add support, more likely to be true. Weakens, undermines, less likely to be true. Khatam. Very simple. So as of now, just the thought process. Chaliye, let's look at some format and types of questions. So 100% strengthen mein, you will be presented with an argument which is premise, conclusion, everything. You will have to select that answer choice that adds the most support. So adds the most support matlab enhances it, makes it more likely to be true. See, I'm repeating the same things now for easy understanding. Weaken mein same thing hai. You are presented with an argument, you have to select that answer choice, okay, that weakens it. Weakens matlab ke attacks it and makes it less likely to be true. This makes it more likely to be true. Khatam. So it's as simple as that. So for all of this, what do you have to do? What should you know? You need to find out the crux of the argument. You need to find out the author ka point of view, or you need to find out what is the core issue. Matlab what? Is the author supporting something? Then weaken mein that option will not support it. And strengthen mein it will further support it. Is the author against something? People keep this in mind. Agar author is against something, weaken will be that option which is in support of it. Strengthen will be that option which is more against it. Got it? So obviously if it's positive, if the tone is positive, strengthen will make it more positive, weaken will make it negative. If the tone is negative, if the author is against, weaken will make it positive, strengthen will make it more negative. That's all. So remember, strengthen, enhance. If it's positive, more positive, negative, more negative. Weaken, attack. If it's positive, negative. If it's negative, positive. That's all. So I hope this is making sense, but don't worry. We are discussing the theory aram se. Then we will solve a lot of examples so you all will become clear. Okay? Chalo. Let's quickly look at a step-by-step approach. Now please keep this in mind. This is the foundation batch. Everything from the basics. So pay attention to it aram se and we'll figure out. Chaliye. 100% strengthen questions mein most important thing is, first things first, please learn to identify the conclusion. Know exactly what is the conclusion and what is it. Okay? Understand the main point. Main point is nothing but the core issue. It could be the core topic, it could be the core concept, anything and everything. So that's the first thing. So you need to practice. That's why you need to do a lot of practice, because first read mein you should know, is the author supporting something, against something, is the author positive towards something, negative towards something, whatever. Then identify its supports. Supports matlab anything that is given as a support to the conclusion. So recognize the premises or evidence. What is premises or evidence? Amit sir will make it very simple. Anything which is factual, anything which is data, it could be examples, all of that. Okay? So premises or evidences which are provided. Okay? So two things always, both of them together make up the argument. You will do this every time. You will do this for assumptions, you will do this for inference, you will do this for paradox, everything. This is the most important. Pehle, what are the data points? Factual evidence, premises. Uske basis pe what are we arriving at the conclusion? Okay? Now anticipate. Anticipate matlab predict. What could be the support? So the type of info that would make the conclusion more likely. So for example, I've given this in my previous sessions also. I'll repeat the same thing again. India. Okay. The author states that India hosted the G20 summit. India's GDP is increasing every year, and the per capita consumption in India is growing. Okay? Now 100%, what will make this more true? Something which is pro-India, something which is in favor of India, something which shows India is shining, India is growing. That's what you need to add. So what have you predicted? You have predicted that the core issue, topic, concept is India, but about India what? Positive. That's important. Yeah. Now, so ye ho gaya. strengthen में पहले आपने anticipate कर दिया that what will work in this favor is, in this case is something that will make India more strong, something that will add more weight to India. So then you come to the answer choice. Eliminate choices that do not support, that could attack, they could also be out of context. I don't know, they could talk of Africa, they could talk of US, China, okay? Or they could talk about India not doing well, they could talk of unrelated things, you know, and that do not add support. And choose the best support. Choose the best support. There could be two answer choices that support India. You have to choose the best support in the tone. Select the option that provides the most effective. Most effective matlab it should stick to the topic, it should stick to the scope. देखो बेटा, scope मतलब के if suddenly you start talking about Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, we are talking of India, so it should match the scope. We are talking at the national level, stick to the national level. That is important. ठीक है people, is this making sense? Once again I'll quickly run through it, you should remember this by now. ठीक है, so क्या क्या बोला अमित सर ने? पहली बात तो conclusion identify करो, what are the supports में premises और evidence identified. ठीक है, now what will enhance it, ठीक है, what will further support it or make it shine. Please remember, okay, so the type of information that would make it more likely to be true. Eliminate everything that go against it, ठीक है, and finally you will choose the best support. That's all today. So all of this that I'm telling you, it may sound like so much gyan. हम लोग जब when we will solve it, I will prove it to you how it makes complete sense. So we will put the theory in practice as well. ठीक है, चलिए. Weaken is the same to same. Now you will see, you will start seeing repetitions also. 100% weaken maybe identify the conclusion. So what is the main point? यहाँ पे भी same thing, जहाँ पे author का POV, core issue, crux of the argument. Why is Amit sir writing all this? Why? So that you are thorough, so that when the notes come to you, you remember these points. ठीक है, identify the support. See, now you see, and again all of this will come in everything. You wait, ठीक है, because this is the crux of critical reasoning. So recognize the premises or the evidence, same to same. Now anticipate needed weakness. So let's go back to our previous example, जहाँ पे we spoke about India hosting the G20, India's GDP increasing, India's per capita consumption increasing. What will be something that could be the weakness? Yes, easy. Now you have to talk about India is not growing. Yeah, you have to talk about problems with India. You have to talk about how India is suffering. Now see, you have thought about multiple things. Again, you cannot say US is growing, so India is suffering. Sorry, that's unrelated. You cannot say China is not liking India. Sorry, Pakistan is against India. No, that because you're talking of India. India growing, India shining. So what will be the opposite? India not growing, India not shining, India having problems. Got it? So you are learning to anticipate. While reading itself, you should come to know about all this. Okay? So the type of information that would undermine is nothing but attack it or make it less likely to be true. We studied this. Same thing. Again. Acha. Then you evaluate the answer choices. Eliminate choices that do not directly weaken. Directly weaken is very important. Indirectly weaken doesn't matter. Matlab, India is suffering because China is growing. India is not growing because US is not letting India grow. Wrong. You have to talk about only India ka India happening within India. So that is why it is not directly weakening. Okay? And of course, any option that is out of context, that introduces something new or which is not present in scope, wrong, gone. You have to talk of the national level of the country. Okay? And finally, choose the best weakener. Select the option that most effectively weakens. That's most important. So you will get two options also which both weaken. You have to choose the one that is matching in the scope, matlab national level, matching in the tone as per the author's tone. So this will come with practice. So while you are reading, you will also identify what is author ka tone. How is the author thinking? Come on, aayega. And how do we know thinking? How do we know, sir? Assumptions. We have done assumptions, so definitely this will work. Yeah. So people, now is it clear? Why have I given you two different slides for strengthen? They are the same. Strengthen may you have to just choose for support. Weaken may just you have to choose something that is weakens. That's all. Otherwise the steps remain absolutely the same. Chaliye, people. Done. Step by step is done. Now let us quickly look at some strategies. So whenever Amit sir says ace, matlab something that will guarantee you scoring 100% full marks in such kind of questions. Let's look at them quickly. ठीक है? 100% please learn to pre-phrase. Pre-phrase matlab predict. ठीक है? Pre-decide or anticipate. Think about the answer in advance. Very powerful है ये. ठीक है? Before looking at the answer choices, now think about what type of info. What type of info matlab kya? Is it broad? Is it narrow? Is it positive? Is it negative? Okay? What is the kind of tone that is there on the passage? All of that. ये beginning में ही करो. And how will you know what type of info? What type of info you will know on basis your, your author का point of view. Is it a person? Is it an event? Is it a concept? Whatever, you decide. This is basis repetitive words, recurring words. Okay? That would strengthen or weaken. This can guide your evaluation of the choices. Matlab any options that do not match this, eliminate straight away. So elimination becomes very simple. Okay, and then of course, I will always do this as a paper setter. If I'm asking you to strengthen, I will give you one option that weakens. Reject. Sorry, sir, that is not a part. If I'm asking you to weaken, I will give you one option that strengthens. Reject. 100% not a part of it. 100%. Yeah. Now people, is it making sense? So first things first, please learn to predict. Learn to anticipate क्या answers हो सकते हैं. चलिए. Next most important is, ठीक है? Now look at patterns. Very interesting. So be familiar with common patterns in strengthening. This will come with practice. Oh my god, you're going to practice so much, it's not funny. You have to practice a lot. Yeah. Weakening arguments such as introducing new information, new kind of questioning assumptions, providing alternative explanations. Yeah. Matlab, you have to look at how is the option strengthening it. Is the option strengthening it by information? Is it weakening by questioning your assumption? So people, this is strengthen, this is weaken. Or it is simply providing alternate explanation where this could be strengthened or weakened, depend karta hai. No problem at all. Yeah. So while we spoke about India ka G20, India ka per capita consumption, India ka economy, right? I think so. Usme new information would be some new point about India, which was enhancing. Questioning the assumption, matlab we would be like, in India generally has never done well. So you're thinking of India in negative terms. And finally, alternative matlab ke, is there some other reason why India is shining currently? Think about it. So that is your anticipating your patterns. So with a lot of practice, you'll be able to do this. That's a guarantee. Chaliye. Now, Hamesha. This is what Amit sir calls a RF slide. RF matlab ke red flag. Very, very important. Please remember, both in strengthening, avoid answer choices with extreme language. Extreme language matlab simple like all, never, majority, ठीक है? Something like always, ठीक है? Okay, will be. Now look for choices that provide moderate, reasonable support. What beautiful words. So why is Amit sir giving you this? You may dismiss it as saying, sir, khali theory to hai. But when you are stuck between two options, ask yourself, which option is moderate? Moderate matlab more or less, maybe, could be, mostly. That's good enough. Reasonable support or weaken the argument without completely dismantling it. So dismantling it matlab ke breaking it. Okay? So we don't want something so negative also and so positive also. I'm highlighting the most important words here. Moderate, reasonable support, most important. ठीक है, and 100% extreme language is your red flag. So whenever you come on this slide, whenever you're stuck between two options, ask yourself, is it extreme because of all of these words, or is it moderate, reasonable? So your answer will become better. ठीक है, चलिए, and 100% my favorite, I tell all my kids to do this, please eliminate as much as you can. Eliminate answer choices that are clearly irrelevant, do not directly address the argument structure, they will introduce alien terms, they will not match the scope of the argument, ठीक है, they will be out of context, ठीक है, so they will definitely not be relevant at all, they will be irrelevant, सीधा हटाओ, they are not value adding at all, they are just a waste of time. And the good news is 1 to 2 options 100% will be concerning this, 100% sorted. That's good. चलिए, ठीक है, now quickly just the last part पे very important note, then we start solving. How is it that we eliminate the wrong answer choices, sir? What is it that we do to completely remove them, kill them, not have them? So anything which is out of scope, discard answer choices that introduce new information which is not directly relevant or irrelevant. ठीक है, so this is why examiners are giving you, so that you can keep remembering, you will keep making notes. अच्छा, this is irrelevant, this is not at all introducing anything, ठीक है, to the argument, so remove, khatam, not needed. Now extreme language we just spoke about, anything which has extreme language or those that make absolute, I love this, absolute का मतलब होता है sweeping, it could also mean judgmental, ठीक है, judgmental मतलब author gets very personal, author suddenly starts talking in that tone, sorry, reject, remove, don't even think, forget it, we don't want it, ठीक है, so all of that. अच्छा, irrelevant info we spoke about, choices that while true will not directly address the argument's logical structure at all, ठीक है, तो मतलब कि जहां पे आपने इंडिया बोला है, you start talking of Sri Lanka, you start talking of Maldives, you start talking of Antarctica, I don't know why am I saying Antarctica, but very weird, unrelated, very different, not needed. And finally opposite, the best thing ever, अगर मैंने strengthen बोला है, option is weakening, अगर मैंने weaken बोला है, option is strengthening, ठीक है, so cautious of choices that have the opposite effect of what, strengthening instead of weakening, or vice versa. People, 4 very important, this is your master list, hashtag ML, master list of everything that could possibly be wrong in the answer choices, by heart karo, ठीक है, so people, out of scope, extreme language, irrelevant or opposite, think out of 4 options 3 will fall under this, sorry, out of 5 options 3 will fall under this, 2 will be close, we will eliminate, we will find out, practice a lot, and we can then arrive at 2. Is it making sense? ठीक है, चलिए, so people, इसी के साथ ज्ञान session done. Now let's start solving आराम से. What Amit sir has decided and done here is, I've given you alternative questions of strengthen, weaken, and then we will solve. Let's start solving. Here we go. चलो, so मैं screen से हट रहा हूँ. You can please read. I will also read. Then let us arrive at the answer. A major network news organization experienced a drop in viewership, ठीक है, in the week following the airing मतलब के showing, ठीक है, controversial report on the economy. So there was a news channel, they showed a controversial report, and as soon as they showed that, the viewership dropped. The network also, beta, also is a very important word, it means support, it means plus, received a very large number of complaints regarding the report. So beta, as soon as the network showed the report, 2 things happened, they witnessed the drop in viewership and they received a large number of complaints. Dekho beta, you start doing this is called as mapping, it becomes very simple. The network, however, very important transition word. बेटा ये ना YouTube पे जाओ, YouTube channel पे Amit sir has created a video how to read newspapers. Follow that. उसमें I have clearly given in terms of what all is needed for all of this. ठीक है? What all words are there in transition words. Please remember. चलो, people. ठीक है? The network, however, maintains that negative reactions to the report had nothing to do with its loss of viewers. No. So the network is saying what? Network is saying that report is not the reason for the viewership drop and complaints drop. Remember this. Now, which of the following, if true, most strongly supports the network's position? First of all, mind you, what is the network's position? Network's position is that negative reactions to the report has nothing to do with its loss of viewers. And which statement best supports that? You tell me the answer. So please write down the answer in the comment section. So my suggestion is you pause the video. You're watching the video, right? Pause it, think about it, put the answer, then unpause it and follow me and continue. Chalo. So beta, what is the network saying? Network is saying that the report is not the reason that the viewership dropped. The report is not that controversial, or it's fine, whatever. But people, the fact remains that the viewership dropped and the complaints increased. So one of the two. Now, what will support this? What will support this is that report had nothing to do with viewership drop. That means there was something else or some other factor in viewership drop, because viewership has dropped. Now, which option best justifies that? Come on, here we go. Let's see. The other major network, okay? Major network news organizations, keyword match, dekh lo, reported similar reductions in viewership during the same week. I love it. And iska I'll give a counter example. Suppose there is a boy called Ashwin, okay? And Ashwin gives a mock GMAT. And Ashwin comes out and says, my mock GMAT was horrible, yeah. It was so bad, oh my god. And we are like, hey Ashwin, exam was not bad. You are only unprepared. You only didn't study. Eh? We do that very normally. Now, is this fair? So what will strengthen Ashwin's claim? Where Ashwin will be like, hey, I was not unprepared like that. My exam went bad. That means what? Now, what will support Ashwin's claim is that there's some other reason why the exam went bad. So people, tell me. We are saying, Ashwin, you are unprepared. But what will strengthen Ashwin's claim is A gave the exam, B gave the exam, C gave the exam, D gave the exam, Ashwin gave the exam. It was bad for everyone. That means exam was tough. That means there was some other factor, not Ashwin's lack of study, which led to the exam going bad. This is similar to that. So that means viewership has dropped. We are not debating on that. But then all ka viewership dropped because of something else. Maybe it was the Ambani wedding. I don't know. Everybody was watching that. Nobody watched the report. Whatever. Got it? For example. So people, this is good enough. Second, the viewers who registered complaints, okay, with the network were regular viewers. Now beta, this is irrelevant because this is not strengthening it. We don't care whether they were viewers or they were our regular viewers or your regular viewers. So this is irrelevant. Third, major network news organizations, keywords, publicly attribute matlab ke blame, okay, drops in viewership to their own reports only when they receive complaints about those reports. And this is not making any sense. And this is not supporting the network. A network is claiming that negative reactions to the report is not led to viewership loss. Something else has led to viewership loss. So this is not supporting the network's claim at all. In fact, this is going against. They are basically saying that, you know, के own reports में ना viewership के complaint log आता है. So wrong. No, it's not supporting the network's claim. Next, this was not the first time that this network news organization has had a controversial report on the economy that has inspired viewers to complain. Arey yaar, fir se, we are not disagreeing with both these things. We are disagreeing whether it is report or not. It is not the report. So what is it? It is something else to do. So this is also not supporting the network's claim. Finally, most network news viewers rely on network news broadcast as the primary source of information regarding the economy. So what? And beta 100% you can reject this. इसपे keywords ही नहीं है. There are no keywords, viewership, complaints, ठीक है, controversial report. So lack of keywords also makes a lot of sense. Correct answer is answer option A, because everybody ka viewership dropped, so the network also can say it was not because of the report. Everybody ka drop, could be a lot of factors, could be jamming in Jamnagar, we don't know. Okay? So beta, if you did not understand, Amit sir has given you explanations for A, B, C, D, E. Aram se please ek baar pad lena. All of these questions that I pick up, because I get a lot of doubts. Sir आप question लाते कहाँ से हो? Original guide. ठीक है, GMAT original guide. ठीक है, चलिए, let's continue. Next question. Once again, I am reading it. You may mute me and read it on your own and start answering. In the past, most children who went sledding is a type of in the winter snow, ठीक है, skiing, in Verland used wooden sleds with runners and steering bars. 10 years ago, smooth plastic sleds became popular. वाह वाह वाह, पहले wooden sled था, फिर plastic sleds था. They go faster than wooden sleds but are harder to steer and snow. ठीक है, so 100% you are agreeing to that. That is they are harder and faster. चलिए, ठीक है, so you are talking of wooden sleds being there. You are also talking of plastic sleds. चलो, now. But they are harder to steer and slow, wooden sleds. Okay. The concern, there's a concern with plastic sleds. The concern that plastic sleds are more dangerous is clearly borne out of the fact that plastic sleds are harder to steer and slow. Okay? Plastic sleds are very fast. The concern is they are clearly borne out of the fact that the number of children injured, okay, while sledding was much higher last winter than it was 10 years ago. So what has happened, people? What has happened is, in the 10 years, okay, more number of children have been injured. So Amit sir is mapping again. More number of children has been injured, and there is a higher chance that they have using plastic greater than wood. This is your entire argument in one equation. Now, which of the following, if true, in Verland most seriously undermines the force of the evidence? Force of the evidence matlab ke, now lots of evidences are there. Evidences matlab ke 10 years mein number of children injured has increased. So you can say number of children injured have decreased. You are saying that plastic has been used more than the wood, and plastic is bad. Because plastic may injuries happen, plastic may, it is difficult to steer and it is not slow. Number of children getting injured is very high. So people, you need to have something which is opposite of all of these things. Okay? That is either number of children injured is less, opposite of that. Plastic is good, opposite of this. Wood being good or bad, we don't know. Chalo, people, here we go. Evaluate the options. Give me the answer. Chalo, people, can we now start solving? Agar you have not arrived at the answer, please pause the video, take your time, and then unpause and follow me. Okay? Now, beta, it will obviously help you keyword matching. Keyword matching में 10 years, number of children, plastic and wood, something has to come. जिस पे भी नहीं आया, eliminate. Option 1. A few children still use traditional wooden sleds. So what? This is not undermining my argument at all. This is not directly contradicting it. So what? We are not talking of wooden sleds being used by, wo bhi kya? Few children, sorry, gone. Very few children wear any kind of protective gear. Helmet while sledding. Out of context, remove. We are comparing plastic sled safety to wooden sled safety and 10 years ka data. Not helmet or non-helmet, remove. See, plastic sleds can be used in a much wider variety of snow conditions than wooden sleds. I love it. I love it. There's a comparison between plastic and wood. Passage mein we have said plastic is bad. We have said plastics are harder to steer. Number of children is increased in plastic sleds. ठीक है? Plastic sleds are more dangerous because number of children is higher. यहाँ पे we are saying plastic sleds are positive. evidence cited is negative, 100% it is ulta, it is looking good. Ulta, because positive का negative, negative का positive. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Most sledding injuries occur when a sled collides मतलब bangs with the tree, rock, another sled. Out of context, we are not looking at the how the accident happens, we are just looking at plastic sled, wooden sled, nothing in between. Remove. Out of context. Last wala. Because the traditional wooden sleds can carry more than one rider. Okay, so wooden sleds can also carry multiple riders. Accident involving a wooden sled now can result in several children being injured. Oh. Now see, we are basically saying that okay, that plastic sled ka consumption has gone up and plastic sleds are not good. So something that will talk of plastic sleds being good. Yahan pe we are basically, anyways we were saying that yahan pe we are saying wooden sleds are not good. This is not attacking my argument. This is not attacking my evidence, because all your evidence points towards plastic sled being bad, plastic sleds being used a lot, plastic sleds being unsafe. Yahan pe you're talking of wooden sleds being unsafe is doing nothing. बचा आपका आंसर ऑप्शन सी. करेक्ट आंसर इज आंसर ऑप्शन सी. पीपल प्लीज रीड इट एक बार. प्लीज रीड इट. प्लीज रीड इट. ठीक है. I invite you all, if you don't understand something, anything that is going over your head, read the entire explanation. You can use the GMAT doubt solving telegram group to ask doubts. You can also leave your doubts under the doubts tab of the session that is provided to you next to the chats tab. ठीक है. Please do all of this without fail. तो आपके doubts भी clear होते जाएंगे. वैसे this is crystal clear. ठीक है. चलिए people, let's continue. You're doing a good job. Next question. Come on. For years, the beautiful Renaissance buildings in Paletito have been damaged by exhaust. ठीक है. So building है damaged by exhaust from the many tour buses that come to the city. ठीक है. Lot of buses come, smoke, buildings damage. There has been little parking space. ठीक है. So that's the problem. That means buses can't park. So most buses have idled. बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. मतलब every bus spends a very high amount of idle time. ठीक है. At the curb मतलब crossing, turning, corner during each stop on their tour. ठीक है. So every time there is a stop, the bus waits there, bus is on, smoke is coming, and idling produces as much exhaust as driving. Correct. Engine is on, smoke is coming out. The city has now provided parking that accommodates a third of the tour buses. Not bad. So 33% of all the tour buses can stand in the parking. Parking matlab ke shanti. You don't have to keep moving. Nobody will honk. You can turn off the engine. So beta, so बहुत important है. So means conclusion. Damage to Paletito's buildings from the bus's exhaust will diminish significantly. So we are saying parking है, ठीक है, to 33% of the buses, due to which pollution will decrease significantly. ठीक है, got it? Now, which of the following most strongly supports what? This wala part. Come on, people, please evaluate the options. Give me the right answer. Chalo, people, once again, predict. Let's predict. What will be something that will support the argument? Something that will support the argument is what? Parking space is given. A lot of buses will be less idle now. They will have less idle time. Sorry. They will have idle time. ठीक है. Idle मतलब के they will emit less fumes. They will spend less time. Or they will emit less exhaust. Simple. That is why the buildings will be chakachak and it will diminish significantly. Aajao. The exhaust from Paletito's few automobiles. Out of context. We are talking of bus. We are not talking of automobile. Remove. Don't bother. New term has come. B. Paletito's Renaissance buildings are not threatened by pollution other than engine exhaust. Irrelevant. Why? Because we don't know whether engine exhaust is of bus, car, truck, scooter, nano, gadi, boat, whatever. So it is irrelevant, out of context. See, tour buses typically spend less than 1/4 of the time. See, Amit sir ka prediction, you have to talk of less time or less exhaust. So this is good, already looking good. They are in Palitito transporting passengers from one side to another, and hence can you say because of this pollution will diminish significantly? Yes sir. Anyways, buses are not there for a long time, and ऊपर से that too, when they are there, parking is provided. Parking matlab ke exhaust will be less. So less plus less equals definitely more less. Matlab you can conclude it will diminish significantly because buses will be there less time. Usme se bhi they will go to parking. They will switch off the engine and wait. Sorted. This is good. I'm loving it. Chalo, D aate hain. More tourists come to Palitito by tour bus than by any other single means of transport. So what? We are not comparing transport to transport. We are not comparing whether they come by bus or not by bus. We are saying that parking will reduce exhaust damage to Palitito's building significantly. Why or how? So this doesn't matter to us. Chalo, people. Last, some of the tour buses that are unable to find parking drive around Palitito while their passengers are visiting. Beta, this actually weakens it. This is opposite. This is opposite. That means what? There is parking provided, but the parking gets full. That means buses don't even get to park. That means they go round and round and round. This is opposite. We are supposed to praise the parking. Why? Less idle, less exhaust, better saving, less time. Buses should not be there. C is the answer to this one. Okay? People making sense? Are we understanding? You're understanding the logic by which Amit sir is also first of all evaluating the argument, premise, conclusion, then evaluating each answer choice. Uske pehle thinking also, and of course all of them I have explained A to E. People please take note of this and isko आराम से पढ़ो यार. In case you're not understanding my explanation, this will make complete sense to you. Chaliye, people, let's continue. You're doing a good job. Next question. Aa jaiye. Motorists in a certain country frequently complain that traffic congestion. So traffic congestion matlab traffic jam is much worse now than it was 20 years ago. My God, so much traffic. Chalo. No real measure of how much traffic congestion there was 20 years ago exists. So we don't know 20 years ago how much was traffic congestion, but everybody says, "Arey, it is so bad now na compared to earlier." But matlab transition word. The motorist complaints are almost certainly unwarranted. I love this word. Unwarranted matlab ke not justified. So the author basically believes, hey motorist, ज़्यादा बोलने का नहीं, I don't believe you. So keep that in mind. The country's highway capacity has tripled in the last 20 years thanks to a vigorously highway construction program. What are you saying? Traffic jam. So many roads are built, so many more roads are there. What are you saying? Author is providing justification. Whereas the number of automobiles registered in the country has increased by only 75%. So, beta, what are we saying? We are basing what the author is saying that highway has 300% increment, tripled. Automobile is only 75% increment. ये देखो उसने बोला है. So what are you saying? So there is something to now question. Which of the following most seriously weakens this thing? So we'll have to find some factor that basically goes against the argument. Chalo, choose an answer please. Chalo, beta, once again I'll start explaining. You pause the video, take your time. Beautiful answer. Remember, you have to mark something that attacks this relationship. What the author is saying, highways have tripled, automobiles have only increased 75%. What traffic conjunction? There is no traffic congestion. That means we have to say there is traffic congestion because of some reason. Bas, answer will scream out to you. Let's start. Here we go. Most automobile travel is local. Most. ठीक है. And the network of roads and streets in the country's settled areas have changed little. Matlab, all of this, most of them is local travel. and all of this highway is out of the city or the country. So that means over the last 20 years, that means traffic congestion definitely has increased. I'm loving this option, yeah. So this option is clarifying what? Hey, हाईवे बना है, बाहर बना है, सिटी के अंदर नहीं बना है, एंड सिटी के अंदर मोस्टली ऑटोमोबाइल्स फंक्शन, so traffic congestion has increased a lot. This is beautiful. This is already screaming the answer. But wait, let's continue. Gasoline prices are high and miles traveled per car per year have not changed. Out of context, reject, we don't care. We are talking of traffic congestion, highway construction, within city, outside city, more traffic, less traffic, something like that. We are not talking of gasoline prices. See, the country's urban centers have well developed public transit systems. Beta, once again, public transit systems, and we are talking of automobiles. कहाँ गया? ठीक है? Automobiles, public transit system is out of context, that carry most of the people who commute into these centers. Wrong. We are not talking of centers, we are talking of highways. Remove, out of context, don't even bother. D, the average age of automobiles registered in the country is lower now than it was 20 years ago. We don't care about age of automobile. We are talking of traffic congestion now versus earlier. We are talking of highway construction now versus earlier. Remove. So beta dekho, agar if you are able to write down a crux of the passage, if you are able to map the passage now, wonders karoge, varna you will be thoroughly lost and confused. And finally, radio stations. I love this, my god. Radio stations have long been broadcasting regular traffic reports that inform motorists about traffic congestion. Out of context. And upar se this is supporting it. This is supporting it, beta, rather than weakening it. Sorry, out of context nahi hai. Why? Because what traffic congestion is big? Traffic congestion happens when you're stuck in traffic. Yahan pe pehle hi radio is announcing there is traffic, there is traffic, there is traffic. Don't go. Why will you go? So this is supporting it. You have to mark something weakening it. Weakening is what? Weakening is this part. Weakening is 100% this part, which talks about these complaints are unwarranted. That means they are warranted, justified hai. That is what the opposite is. That is, correct answer is answer option A. Okay, understanding? Isn't it fun? It is purely logical. Amit sir is not getting stuck up even in one word. Okay sir, this word means what? That, chill maro. Lekin logic lagao. Learn to map the argument. Okay, Amit sir is doing what? Pehle he is mapping the argument. He is mapping the variables, mapping the terms. Chalo, terms likhenge. Okay, and then he is predicting. He is predicting that strengthening will support the variables and terms, weakening will attack them, and then Amit sir is evaluating the answer choice. That's what you have to do. ठीक है, चलिए एक सवाल homework तो बनता है. This is your homework question. You will read it. You will solve it. You do know that annotated notes come to you, beta. ठीक है? So उसमें आप अपना आंसर कंपेयर करना. Amit sir has solved this for you in the next slide, which you will solve after you will check the answer from the notes, and you will 100% leave a comment for me saying that did you solve it or not. Please reach out to me on my social media as well. Stay connected with me on Telegram, Amit_RH, on Instagram, _Amit_Rohra, and tell me, sir, मैंने homework कर लिया, and whether you're following or not, or whatever your doubts are. ठीक है, चलिए इसी के साथ हम आते हैं आज के सेशन के एंड में. What did we do today? Today we did everything about assumptions. ठीक है, what am I right? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. ठीक है, sorry, Amit sir got completely lost and confused. Today we did everything about strengthening and weakening of the argument. ठीक है, so all of this we studied today. ठीक है, that is how do we identify the questions, strategies, eliminating options, and we did lots and lots of practice questions. ठीक है, I hope the sessions are making sense to you, and I hope you guys are understanding the concepts. आपका homework क्या रहेगा? 100% you will do that one homework question that is given to you. You will solve the daily practice problems that is going to come to you, and of course GMAT original guide se please start solving. Humble suggestion, humble request. Yeah, so please stay tuned, stay connected, keep messaging, reaching out to me. Let me know whether you're enjoying or not, you're understanding or not, what are your concerns, what are your doubts, and what are your problems. Until we meet again, please take care, please stay safe. This is Amit sir. signing off.